Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. Today we're going to talk about one of Marvel's greatest supervillains, Dr. Doom. Special thanks to these guys for recommending me do a video about Dr. Doom. Thanks guys, and as always, keep your suggestions coming. In one issue, Dr. Doom created a detention center for those whom he believed are criminals. As the prisoners are brought into their cells, a guard says, "You have been victims of a passively tolerant society. A society where, if you obey the law, you would be left alone." This is an almost word-for-word quote by former British Prime Minister David Cameron in early 2015. And that is the first fact about Dr. Doom. Let's dive in. Dr. Doom debuted in Fantastic Four number 5 in 1962. The story was called Prisoners of Dr. Doom. In his first appearance, Doom was seeking the Stones of Merlin. Even if you read this issue, there's probably something you forget about it. Well, in this story, the Thing is a pirate, and he's got a beard over his rock skin. How can follicles grow over a rocky exterior? His real name is Victor Von Doom. Yes, his real name is actually Doom. Dr. Doom is the monarch of the fictional European country Latveria. The character was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Stan Lee said his favorite word that he created in all of Marvel is the country of Latveria. He said he has met many people who genuinely believe Latveria is a real country. Dr. Doom is Stan Lee's favorite Marvel supervillain. Victor Von Doom was born into poverty. When he was a child, his father Werner ran away with him through the chilling wilderness. Fearing for his son's health, Werner clung onto Victor to give him as much warmth as possible. Werner perished in the cold, and his body became so stiff it took hours for Victor to remove himself from his father's corpse. Sadly, this experience traumatized Victor beyond repair. His mother, Cynthia, was a gypsy and was involved in black magic and could summon demons. Doom became the leader of a gypsy clan when he was 16. Doom's nemesis is the Fantastic Four's leader, Reed Richards. Doom and Reed met in college. After Doom's mother was killed after it became common knowledge that she practiced the dark arts, it was his dream to reunite with his mother. During a scientific experiment in college, he created a device which he believed could access the afterlife and he could see his mom once more. However, Reed Richards pointed out that there was a miscalculation with his equations. Dr. Doom was too arrogant to acknowledge he made a mistake and dismissed this. During the experiment, the device exploded, scarring Victor's face. However, Doom is too arrogant to admit he made a mistake, and so assumed Reed must have tampered with the device, causing it to malfunction, which has given Doom a burning hatred of Reed ever since. Tibetan monks built Doom's iconic armor and faceplate. This is back when Tibet was a country, which it isn't anymore. A lot of people don't know that. When Doom's face was burnt, he only had a single scar across his face that would heal over time. However, Doom was so desperate to hide it, he placed the uncooled steel faceplate on his face, scarring himself beyond repair. Soon after he was given body armor, he returned to his homeland of Latveria and overthrew the government and crowned himself as the nation's ruler. He usually refers to himself in the third person. Dr. Doom learned alchemy and became a sorcerer. He fused alchemic runes onto his armor to protect himself from dark magic. He once stole the Silver Surfer's power cosmic, which allowed him to control the Surfer's board. This was incorporated into the film Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Thanks to his sorcery, he can exchange minds with others. At one point, he inhabited the body of Daredevil. While he was away from Latveria for some time, upon his return, he had a parade in his own honor, and he forced everyone in Latveria to clap for an hour. The first person to stop clapping was shot dead. Dr. Doom always wears titanium armor. This armor is nuclear powered. It is so advanced, it's capable of practically anything. It has a built-in computer and a jetpack which allows him to fly. His armor can withstand fire, ice, brute force like the Hulk, magic, water, or space. His armor can generate a force field, shielding him from harm or electrical disruption. It can store solar energy, which can be converted into concussive blasts of energy, which Doom can shoot from his gauntlets. He has a scanner in his mask that allows him to see in X-ray and infrared. He is one of the world's greatest swordsmen. He is a skilled pianist and created some of his own music. Doom made his first kill when he was 16, although it was in self-defense. The Thing may have been responsible for Doom's disfigurement since he claimed to have tampered with Doom's machine before he used it. Doom is such an astounding artist, he painted a duplicate of the Mona Lisa. Doom said he became self-aware when he was in his mother's womb. Doom believes this is possible since his mother had contact with demons, which, quote, touched open my mind too clearly and too early. He's been nicknamed the Master, the Great Destroyer, the Damned, and God. His nickname is God. It's a bit arrogant. His armor is imbued with the pieces of the true cross, the crucifix that Jesus Christ died on. This protects Doom from demons and vampires, which came in handy when he was confronted by Dracula while he was on the moon. Wait, what? Vampires? Did that actually happen? Yep. Vampires in the moon. You can only say that when talking about comics. He can hypnotize others with ease. There's a duck version of Doom called Doctor Doom. You may be wondering, if there's so many magical people like Doctor Strange or Doctor Doom in the Marvel Universe, why don't they just use magic to cure AIDS, cancer, or world hunger? As scientists asked Doctor Doom this very question, and Doom pointed out that using magic always has a cost. He said, if you use this mystic energy too much, say the amount of energy one would need to cure something, to change something that big, it's not hard to imagine the cost would be enormous. And after all I've seen on this planet, and others, I am not willing to take the chance of bringing something here that is worse than the curse you are trying to cure. He is the richest and the smartest supervillain in the world. Doom created androids of himself called Doombots. Dr. Doom's nemesis, the Fantastic Four, eventually turned some of these Doombots into their personal assistants. He lets one of these Doombots stand in on his behalf as the monarch of Latveria from time to time to minimize the chances of himself being assassinated. Due to a design flaw, the Doombots explode with the force of a hand grenade when they are heavily damaged. He built robots to act as police force in Latveria called servo guards. He often drinks wine from a goblet. DC Comics created a ripoff of Doom called Lord Havoc. Instead of hiding the fact that DC copied Marvel's iconic supervillain, Havoc looks more like Doom in recent comics. The Fantastic Four banished Dr. Doom to hell. He eventually escaped. If a person can survive hell, don't ever get on his bad side. Stan Lee said he created Dr. Doom because he loved the idea that a person could get arrested for jaywalking, but Dr. Doom couldn't be arrested for wanting to take over the world. When Stan Lee was devising Dr. Doom, he said he wanted to cook up a soul-stirring, super sensational new villain. He said the name Dr. Doom was as eloquent in its simplicity, magnificent in its implied menace. He was played by Julie McMahon in the 2005 film Fantastic Four.
Victor, what's the matter? Afraid of ghosts?
During that time when Julie McMahon was around, he was played by Toby Kebbell in the mind-numbingly terrible 2015 film Fantastic Four? I don't know what it's called.
You think you've had power handed to you? You don't know anything about what's coming.
What is coming?
Doom.
By the way, if you want me to do a video about that film, I will never do that. He was voiced by Clive Revel in the 2006 video game Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Revel provides the voice of the Emperor in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. In some comics, Dr. Doom is drawn to resemble the actor Vincent Cassel. Technically, Dr. Doom is not a doctor. He never completed college, so he's a dictator, a murderer, a warlock, and he's a fibber. There's an alternative comic that showed what would have happened if Dr. Doom became Thing instead of Ben Grimm. He is a genius in physics, robotics, cybernetics, genetics, weapons technology, biochemistry, and time travel. Dr. Doom's appearance is based on the Grim Reaper. Dr. Doom stumbled upon an empty universe. He used the powers of the Infinity Gauntlet to give the universe shape, therefore becoming the god of his own universe. The first word Doom uttered in his own universe was B. This triggered a big bang, giving the universe form. On the second day of Doom's universe, he separated the light from the dark. One was called science, and the other was called magic. Doom stopped being God because, in his own words, I found it beneath me. He thought he was too good to be God. This is why people think Dr. Doom is the most arrogant person in the Marvel Universe. There's a story called What If Dr. Doom Was a Pediatrician? It's really good. An alternative comic showed what would have happened if Dr. Doom became a hero. His achievements are celebrated on Doom Day in his home country. Doom had an heir to the throne of Latveria called Christoph Bernard. When he became Doom's protege, he changed his name to Christoph von Doom. Christoph eventually took on the mantle of Dr. Doom. Christoph has a mechanical suit, like Doom, that allows him to fly and project energy. It also gives him super strength and durability. Also, Christoph briefly served as a member of the Fantastic Four. At one point, the writers considered that Doom's facial scars were not real and only existed in his unstable mind. Doom was so rich that if he diverted his wealth to the poor, he could abolish poverty in his home country. Dr. Doom once got devoured by megalodon sharks. However, getting eaten by prehistoric fish is no biggie to Doom, and he was just back to his old self 2 issues later. They have barely explained how he did that. One alternative comic begs the question, what if Dr. Doom had a sense of humor? His mechanical suit has a 4-hour air supply, which allows him to travel underwater or in space. He stands 6'2". In his armor, he's 6'7". He weighs 225 pounds. In his armor, he weighs 415 pounds. Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger had a meeting with Dr. Doom to discuss the greatest supervillain of all: politics. Doom has been involved with negotiations with Jimmy Carter. How many American presidents has he negotiated with? He used to be an Avenger, and you think, that's weird? He was briefly Iron Man. And it gets even weirder. He joined the Fantastic Four, and he was actually the team's leader when Reed Richards went missing. Through sorcery, he can transfer his mind into others, create force fields, teleport, travel through dimensions, and shoot mystical blasts of energy. He has a cousin called Bob Doom, who is a dentist in Connecticut. Recently, Dr. Doom's face has been reverted to normal. He seemed to have a change of heart and fall for good for a while. Although Doom didn't wear his iconic armor during this time, he was still a force to be reckoned with since he is a world-class sorcerer. One time, Doom had to find a way to leave a message to Spider-Man. So, how do you do that? He put a spider in a machine and then spoke into a microphone which telepathically sent the message to Spider-Man since he has the same wavelengths as a spider. What? Dr. Doom has an army of personal guards. They are made up of 1,000 warrior bots and 50 Latvian humans. The human soldiers serve no purpose except as a propaganda tool to show Doom values life, which he does not. He has a devoted servant called Boris. He has access to a time machine. Doom banded together with the smartest villains on Earth to form the Intelligentsia. The team was composed of the Thinker, Red Ghost, the Wizard, MODOK, Egghead, and the Leader. In 2013, IGN's top 100 comic book villains of all time ranked Dr. Doom at number 3. In his first appearance, he had a pet tiger and a vulture. Dr. Doom's origin was unknown for 2 years. His willpower is so strong, Doom can withstand psychic attacks from the most powerful telepaths like Emma Frost and Zebediah Kilgrave. He's in love with Reed Richards' wife, Sue Storm. He personally delivered Reed and Sue's daughter, Valeria. He has diplomatic immunity. According to Reed Richards, Doom's greatest weakness is his ego. Since his mother dealt with black magic, she was sent to hell. Every year, Dr. Doom makes a deal with the demon Mephisto, who's Marvel's equivalent of Satan, in an attempt to win back her soul. If he fails, the Latvian people's hatred of Doom will intensify. After many years, Doom has never beaten Mephisto. Doom's mother, Cynthia, has turned out to be alive in recent comics, which contradicts the whole Mephisto thing I literally just said. But maybe she's not real, or it's a trick, or something. I gotta wait and see how that plays out. During the millennium, Marvel created a separate reboot of the comics for a modern audience. In this version, Dr. Doom has been drastically altered. Since Dr. Doom is Eastern European, he has an Eastern European name, Victor Van Dam, which is way less stupid. In this version, Dr. Doom is an ancestor of Vlad the Impaler. Dr. Doom eventually became the leader of the terrorist group, Hydra. When Reed Richards was 18, he and Victor built an interdimensional teleporter. Victor, Reed, Susan Storm, her brother Johnny, and Reed's friend Ben were supposed to be the first people to test the teleporter. However, Victor believed Reed made a mistake, so Victor reconfigured the machine. This caused the teleporter to malfunction, which distorts Reed and his teammates' DNA, giving them their iconic superpowers. Like the movie, the failed test caused Dr. Doom's body to turn metallic. He also has the power to shoot metallic blades from his body and spew poisonous gas from his mouth. He also has ghost legs for a while, but they got rid of that because that's just stupid. Dr. Doom revealed to the Fantastic Four that he is a master. This revelation seemed to come out of nowhere, since Doom seems too arrogant to answer to another. The Fantastic Four ignored him, assuming it was one of Doom's mind games. Doom's master, the Marquis, is from a parallel Earth. He can control all time, space, and matter, and has spent 1 billion years traveling from reality to reality, extinguishing each as he passes them. On his travels, he has killed the Fantastic Four millions of times. Due to his power and hatred of the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom was more than happy to ally with him. If you don't read comics, you probably didn't realize that the Marvel comic universe rebooted in 2016. To say goodbye to the old Marvel comics that we've known for 50 plus years, Marvel decided to have one great epic battle. This story, called Secret Wars, needed a big villain, and for the final battle of the original Marvel Comics universe, the superheroes had to fight Dr. Doom. You see, Doom learned that the multiverse was collapsing into itself. Eventually he realized the universes would keep being destroyed until there was only one left. This calamity was caused by cosmic beings called the Beyonders. He and Doctor Strange confronted the Beyonders and Doom destroyed them. Upon their defeat, their godlike power was left over. Doctor Strange refused to take it because he was worried he'd be corrupted by Godhood. As a result, Doom took the power for himself and became God Emperor Doom. As the God Emperor, the Devourer of Worlds Galactus guards Doom's castle. His throne was Yggdrasil, which is the World Tree, the core of Norse myth and Thor's world. Doctor Strange was made Doom's right-hand man, and the Sheriff of Doomstat. Although Doom seems omnipotent, there was one thing he cannot do: heal his scarred face. Which brings me to the final fact. For over half a century, Dr. Doom's scarred face was never seen in the comics. However, it was revealed during the Marvel Universe's final story, Secret Wars. And what did Dr. Doom look like without his mask? This. In a nutshell, pretty damn gross. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe. Please let me know if there's any other Marvel supervillains you want me to do a video about, and I'll upload it as soon as possible. To learn more facts, check out my books. They're available on Amazon on paperback and Kindle. Thanks for watching, see you again.